If they don't make a deal, there will be bombing. Bombing like they've never seen before. That's a pretty intense warning from President Trump to Iran, and it's not just talk, there's serious military muscle backing those words. The clock is ticking, and if Iran doesn't agree to negotiate, the US is ready to bring the heat with some serious firepower. At this moment, 6 B-2 stealth bombers, loaded with bunker buster bombs and designed to slip past radar detection, are stationed and ready. These bombers' main mission? To completely cripple Iran's nuclear program and destroy its underground missile bases. But how exactly would that work? What's the step-by-step plan for an airstrike on Iran? Let's dive into that. But before we get into the strike details, let's rewind a bit and understand how things got to this point, because the build-up is just as intense as the potential airstrike itself. Right now, tensions are high all over Europe, the Middle East, and beyond. The threat of nuclear conflict feels closer than ever. Currently, only 9 countries hold nuclear weapons: the US, Russia, the UK, France, China, India, Pakistan, Israel, and North Korea. But Iran could soon join that list. Although Iran has denied any intentions to develop nuclear weapons, the country has a long-standing nuclear program. Experts believe that Iran is getting close to enriching uranium to the point where it could potentially start building nuclear warheads. This is a huge concern for the US and its allies because if Iran gets the bomb, the implications could be devastating. Imagine Iran holding that kind of power. They'd have a much stronger position in the region. It could lead to a major escalation with Israel, increase territorial disputes, and give Iran unprecedented leverage on the global stage. That's why the US, along with Israel, has been working hard for years to slow down Iran's nuclear ambitions. But now, it seems like the gloves might come off if Iran doesn't change course. This brings us to President Trump. In early March 2025, he sent a letter to Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, proposing a new nuclear deal. When asked what would happen if Iran refused to negotiate, Trump didn't mince words: "We're down to the final strokes with Iran. We can't let them have a nuclear weapon. Something's going to happen soon. I'd prefer a peace deal, but the other option will solve the problem." That other option? Bombing. And it seems like it might be closer than anyone anticipated. However, progress toward talks has been slow. Khamenei quickly dismissed Trump's offer, calling the US untrustworthy. On the other hand, Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian said he was open to talks, but would follow Khamenei's lead. Then, in April 2025, Trump announced that direct talks were happening. But when Iranian officials responded, they clarified that these talks would be indirect, mediated by Oman. So, while the US wants a direct conversation, Iran isn't fully on board. Now, what does all of this mean for the US military? Well, it seems like Trump is getting serious. As part of a clear warning to Iran, the US has deployed at least 6 B-2 bombers to Diego Garcia, an island base in the Indian Ocean. These stealth bombers are some of the most advanced military aircraft in the world, capable of carrying both nuclear and conventional bombs. And let's not forget, these bombers are already a significant part of the US military's long-range strategy. About 30% of America's B-2 fleet is now positioned in the Indian Ocean, sending a very strong signal to Iran. The threat of bombing is very real, and it could happen soon if Iran doesn't make a deal. So, let's break down what an actual bombing run on Iran could look like. Picture this: the mission kicks off from Diego Garcia, nearly 2,300 miles away from Iranian territory. The US could have stationed its bombers closer, but Iran's air defense systems, like the Babur 373 and S-300, pose a significant challenge. By launching from Diego Garcia, the bombers avoid the immediate risk of being targeted as they take off. As the B-2s head towards Iranian airspace, US fighter jets, like the F/A-18 Super Hornets and the A-18G Growlers, would be deployed to clear the air. Their job? To neutralize Iran's air defenses and keep the B-2s safe. Tankers, essential for mid-flight refueling, would also be in position, ensuring the bombers stay fueled for the long haul. The B-2s are still on their way, and US fighter jets and tankers are already in place, ensuring that the mission is fully supported. These planes would also clear a path for the bombers, targeting Iranian missile systems. Now, the B-2 bombers are about 3 hours out and need to refuel mid-flight to make sure they can carry out their mission. During this time, their escorts, the fighter jets, would form a protective ring, securing the skies. The Growlers will jam enemy radar, making it nearly impossible for Iran to track the bombers. By now, the B-2s are getting close to their targets. These stealth bombers are heading to specific missile bases and nuclear sites, many of which are deep underground, built beneath mountain ranges like the Elburz and Zagros. These sites are heavily fortified, with tons of concrete and blast doors designed to withstand massive explosions. To penetrate these, the US has developed the Massive Ordnance Penetrator, MOP, a bunker buster bomb that can drill through hundreds of feet of concrete. The B-2s would split into smaller groups, each targeting a specific site. With their advanced technology and powerful bombs, these bombers would deliver a devastating blow, striking the underground missile bases and nuclear facilities with pinpoint accuracy. As the bombers approach their targets, they'd release their bunker busters. These bombs would drill through the earth, causing massive explosions that would decimate Iran's military assets. The stealth technology of the B-2s would ensure that they remain undetected as they strike, with the Growlers jamming enemy radars to keep them in the dark. Once the bombs hit, Iran would undoubtedly retaliate, launching missiles and scrambling fighter jets. But with the US forces already anticipating this, the counterattacks would be largely ineffective, with decoys and interference from the Growlers making it difficult for Iran to hit the bombers. After the bombs have been deployed and the damage is done, the B-2s would head to safer airspace, refueling along the way. The fighter jets would continue to patrol the skies, ensuring no surprise attacks as the bombers return to base. In just one day, the US military could cause irreparable damage to Iran's nuclear program, hitting targets deep underground and rendering much of the country's military hardware useless. But the question is, could Some experts believe that even if such an attack is successful, Iran could rebuild its program over time. Still, the destruction caused by such a strike would send a powerful message, and might just force Iran to rethink its stance. What do you think about President Trump's approach to Iran? Could we see a B-2 bombing run in the near future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe for more updates on the growing tensions in the Middle East and beyond. We'll see you in the next one.